Let's turn this on right here. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the broadcast for Saturday, February 11th, 2023. If you're watching this as a rerun, you can skip ahead 15 minutes, and we'll get into the radio side of things here. Just getting on early and doing some stuff for the radio stations connecting in here. Once you're on, let me know so I can do a time check for y'all and get that going. Wayne will call here. There it is. Be-boppity boppity. KGFX, good morning. KOLY, Karen, good morning. Thanks for messaging me. I'll do a time check here and I can do it right here. I have 6:57:00 coming up here. 6:57:00 on mark. All right. There, I think that's it. We'll find out, won't we?
Good morning.
Welcome
Mr. Scott.
Welcome to the YouTube pre-show, baby.
All righty.
How you doing?
How's everything going this morning?
I woke up an hour ago, so it's going good so far.
Yeah, that's about what I did too. I got kind of ready for the day. Long day ahead, but it'll be fun.
When are you guys going to start setting up?
Well, there'll be guys starting here shortly, about 8:30. I'll get there right after the show. I'll head up there.
Good. That way, when I get there to set up sound and everything should be kind of in its place.
Yep, it should be already.
That works. All right. Oh, let's see here. Jesse, good morning here. Scott Bulgy, good morning. Waylon Turnus, good morning. Jim, good morning. Got all kinds of folks on the tube side. What do we got
that's
here?
Good.
Hold on. We got. Oh, shit. I hung up on the other one. Morning.
Did you hang up on Wayne?
I did. I'm still getting my stuff put together here, my friend.
I know. I'm just going to talk to Wayne quick off the radio broadcast.
Just hang on. I'll get back here. I got to go. I'm going to have to. Hold on. I got to lock you in.
All right.
All right. Hold on. I'm going to call him. I don't know. I'll get that.
Wow. Something dropped off, or what happened?
Jesse called in. He wanted to talk to you while we're on the YouTube side here. There, now.
It's a good thing I called in early so that he could get his poop straight before he was live on the air.
I'm still working on it, all right?
Oh, my.
Trust me, this nobody has. I don't think any radio station has this side of a phone system. It's kind of fancy. I spent enough money on it here, so hopefully it works here. Anyway, go ahead.
Anyhow, give him a call in before we're live on actual radio here. Wayne,
Yeah.
I'm going to come help Scott tonight with the emceeing and stuff.
Sure.
I am going to have Karina with me, my 11-year-old.
Okay.
So if there's anything that you need her to do, anything simple, she'll be with. She can help with something too.
Okay. All right. Yeah,
so she's been to a few things, but she'll just be there, and you guys are going to have the room set up the same way, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it'll be set up pretty much the same. We're changing a couple things back in the far end of the room with the general raffle, but other than that, it's going to be the same.
Okay. I'm just going to ask that quick. Scott and I were talking last night about sound and how to get better sound into that back room again. So I'm going to grab a speaker and some wires from my house and bring it. So I heard you guys talking about when you were going to be there setting up, but we'll, Karina and I are going to be in town all day, and we'll try to get over there early afternoon to help Scott with everything too. So
yeah, I'll be there most of the day. I got to run out for a little bit. May have to run to Runnings and bring some guns over for Kevin over there, but I should be there. Yeah, it'll be good to get some sound way in that back corner.
It's tough.
Yeah.
That L-shaped room is a little ugly, but we'll get her.
Yeah.
We'll get sound.
Good.
How's things
We'll
looking?
get you taken care of. It's looking pretty good. Yeah.
A lot of good packages, or
Yeah, we do. We've got even a couple hunts. We have a safari hunt and a whitetail exotic hunt down in Texas, and
Boom. I'm in on that. I'm opening that bit up.
yeah, that
Yeah.
exotic hunt in the United States is a way to go, I think, because to get people to be able to have enough time and extra money on top of winning the hunt and everything to go overseas is just a tough sell.
It is. Yeah, it is.
But to go to Texas, that's pretty doable, you know.
Right. Yeah. This was through L&L Adventures out of Wimberley, Texas, and I think it's whitetail and an exotic, something like
Cool.
that.
That's awesome.
So
Cool.
yeah,
I
it
miss.
should be pretty cool.
I need to get back to Texas. I miss that hog hunting.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
I'd love to do
Okay,
that.
well, I'll be listening, and if you need me to call in on something, just text me. And Karina, I'm going to go get Karina roused out of bed, and we're going to head to Bismarck shortly here too.
All right.
Well, if
Well,
I
yeah,
need
we'll
advice from a gymnastics dad, professional gymnastics dad.
Damn right. I'll be giving you scores all night long.
yeah.
Oh, good enough.
Let me tell you, that's the strangest, most. The difference between an 8.2 and a 9.765 when it's a fourth grader doing a cartwheel. What are these moms that are sitting behind that desk? Where do they get off? You want to talk about a power trip?
Yeah. Yeah. You know,
Jesus.
I tell you what, though, that gymnastics, that is so good for these kids, the flexibility,
It
the
is.
coordination. It is. Our middle son, you guys met him, Austin. Austin went to gymnastics 1 year when he was like 8 years old. And that kid was so strong. And he could do the rings and all those type of things. And it was like, it just helped him when he got to high school football. And he was so much more, athletic and flexible, especially. Yeah.
So I'm
It
picturing
really works.
I'm picturing like Jesse and myself and you, Wayne, and maybe John Armin. We're like, if we're to do gymnastics now, it'd be like the scene from Old School. If he's ever seen that movie, where Jesse's up on the rings with a cigarette in his mouth, holding himself up there.
Yeah. And Scott be walking across the balance beam with a drink in his hand.
Oh no, I'll do the ribbon thing. I'll do the ribbon scene.
Don't forget to give your time check before you get too far here.
I already did time check.
Oh, I didn't hear it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. See you, Jesse. See you this afternoon.
Bye.
All right. See you then.
Yeah. So I'll do another time check here for stations here before we get going here. But morning, Mayor Cox, coffee brewed, recliner warmed up. Good. Eric, good morning. Good to have you out up here. And Gene says we could judge gymnastics. I did it one time.
Did you?
So I worked with the gymnastics crew when I was teaching martial arts in Brookings.
Okay, sure.
I worked with the gymnastics crew pretty intently on some of the more advanced type of things that we wanted to work with. And after a while, they invited me. I did some proper stretching. There's healthy ways of stretching and ways that young kids will hurt themselves by the time they're 18.
Yep.
And so I helped them with those techniques, and we kind of shared back, and they asked me to be a judge one time. Stations 7:05:00 60 seconds to showtime 7:05:00 on mark.
You know, I went to a martial arts tournament in Brookings once. I took 2 medals home that time. I just was a beginner or just getting started. And our instructor took a group of us guys down there, and yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, the tournament sure have changed from when I started, man. All right. Anyway, 30 seconds of showtime here. I'm going to turn you down. We're going to go quiet here. Stand by here. Morning, Ultimate Outdoor Adventures TV. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Saturday edition of Dakota Prairie Outdoors. I'm your host, Scott Bachmeyer, broadcasting from a little piece of heaven at the ranch house here this morning out in the middle of the Badlands. And from what it looks on my forecast today, we're going to be about 45 to 47 degrees, sunny, and very little wind. And I'll take that every day and twice on Sundays. Good to have you along here this morning. Wayne Muth is my guest, outdoor contributor and do-yourself hunter. How you going, Wayne?
I'm doing well. All
right, so a few
nice
things.
day. That's going to be a nice day out there.
It's always a good day. When you wake up, it's always you're on the right side of the dirt, right?
Yes,
all right,
that's
so
right.
I got a message early this morning already from the Pollock Men's Club. They're starting their 7th annual ice fishing tournament this morning, and they're going to 110 open spots here, 2-person teams, and I got a video and a thank you from the high school gymnasium from the guy, and he said thanks for mentioning it on the radio, and they have a good turnout coming up here. Ice fishing on a day like today would be pretty nice, especially if the ice is thick enough, which it should be from all those cold days in December.
Yeah, I hope so. I know that some guys down south on the South Dakota side have pulled their shacks off a little bit because of all the warm weather. But I know that as long as you drill and you know what you're doing,
yeah,
you'd be safe out there.
Yeah. Well, today is also the Danny's Place Coyote Derby, so have fun with that. Kind of getting wound down on the coyote tournaments right now, and so that's what's going on there. So that's it. I mean, I used to have a list of like 20 tournaments, and right now the coyotes definitely on the breeding side of things. But today, Wayne Muth is the big banquet in Mandan. Let's talk about the Northern Badlands chapter 21st annual banquet of the Mule Deer Foundation. And starts at 5 o'clock here. So we see dinner at 6:30, followed by the live auction. And let's talk a little bit about it. What do we got for guns this year? I mean, I don't care what anybody says, Wayne. If you're going to do any type of a fundraiser, it seems like guns make money.
Right? Yep, they do. We've got a variety of guns. We have Benelli shotguns. We have Sig Sauers, 9mm. We got some Henrys, repeating rifles. Got some Smith & Wesson, the MP22s, the G-Force. There's a G-Force 410 lever action. It's really a cool looking gun. Should be a lot of fun to auction that off. Browning. We got some Browning. We got several Burgas and 27 nozzler and 300 Winchester mag, just a good variety of guns. We've got also the table of guns, which is what we do is we put an envelope on each table, and on that envelope there are 8 lines, and you put a $20 bill in the envelope and put your name on the line. At the end of the night, we're going to collect all those envelopes, and the envelope that we pick, everyone at that table will win a gun. And we have the guns are in a case laying on another table, so you don't know what they are, but it's a lot of fun because people will go buy a slot on another table, and somebody at that table won't buy a slot, and they may be left out. So it's a fun time. It's a fun time.
Yeah, it is a good time, and we see the money going to work, and people come back and enjoy it. Plus, I mean, you before we started the radio side, you said you actually have a whitetail and an exotic hunt here in the United States, and that's kind of a cool thing. So explain that.
Yeah. There's a 3-day, 2-night hunt for 2. It's an L&L Adventures whitetail and exotics out of Wimberley, Texas, and it's for a voucher, a $4,000 voucher for whitetail and a $2,000 voucher for exotic. So I believe it's probably the size of the deer is what the vouchers get you for the whitetail side. The exotic, I would imagine you should be able to pay more. I don't have all the details on it right here. You could pay more for another exotic if you want. I've always wanted to shoot a black buck, and the black bucks are from India, and they're very pretty. They're a smaller buck, and they have some exotic ranches that have them here in the United States. I know some of my friends have gotten them, and that'd be one that maybe if this ranch has them, I'd have to look into it. There'd be something a guy should bid on.
Well, I'm on their website right now. They says their whitetail deer range from 120 to 300 class, and that's that. I have not seen a 300 class whitetail, but I sure wouldn't mind seeing one in the pins of my archery equipment, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly. Those are no doubt some of those non-typical ones that have points everywhere.
I like that.
And yeah.
No, that's pretty cool. And they got lodging and everything. So,
Yeah.
it's good
The
stuff.
oth-
I mean, that's the thing
Yep.
about the exotic hunt. People don't realize, Texas has the same weather and the same weather patterns as you see a lot of when, people go to Africa to hunt all these exotics. A lot of these guys brought them over there, and Texas does a nice job. And honestly, it's a really cheap area to get a license is Texas. When I went hog hunting, it literally cost me $17 to get a license to go hog hunting, and
Wow.
that included, get this, it included exotics if the landowner so let you take one. It was cheap. So, and that was a while back already, about 10 years ago, but still, I think that would be fun.
Yeah, it would be fun. That and I know there's some places like in Mexico you can apply for gemsbuck down there on the White Sands Missile Range. We have some exotics here in the United States. One of the other hunts we do have too is an African hunt. It's a Zembe Safaris out of South Africa. It's a 7-day hunt for 4 hunters. So it's another package we have. Guys can get there, look it over if they're interested, get more information. Marshall will have more information there. So yeah, a lot of good prizes. Yeah, we have a package for you, Scott. It's a Fireball package. It is Fireball whiskey, Fireball cigars, and a lighter. But the lighter is a pulse fire flamethrower. So
that would
your
be
lighter
better
for your cigar.
Yeah, I could use that. I don't know about the Fireball and the cigars, but I could use the flamethrower.
we thought we'd do the little package and throw in the lighter for the cigars. There you go.
Oh man, now you got to bring that down for branding season is what you got to do.
There you go.
The Fireball that is. So
the Fireball.
Well, it's at the Baymont Inn tonight at the former Seven Seas. I still call it that. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Some people just that's what when they've heard it like that for so many years. But it is Baymont, and starts at 5:00. Doors open up here, and come join us.
Yeah, I remember when I was young, my parents, they would have a big night out and they would go to the Seven Seas for dinner at the captain's table, I think it was called at the time. And it was very high end. It was great meals. And they've done a good job of keeping that going and keeping that up.
Yeah. Oh man, we're aging ourselves, Wayne.
Yes, we are.
That's okay because, just like wine, you only get better with age. You know that.
Yeah.
All right. So we have some text messages. Gene asks, are the Henry rifles you're giving away tonight center fire?
Yes, they are.
Okay. And also he also said that the word is the Corps of Engineers raising the lake level. So ice access is a little bit tougher than it usually is right now.
Yeah, that's what I heard in the McLaughlin area or down in the Mobridge area too. The lake levels are coming up. Waters along the edges a lot more.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, we wish the best of luck to the Pollock Men's Club here in their ice fishing tournament. We'll see a lot of people coming up here this evening. Hopefully, we'll get to visit with most everybody here at the banquet room at the 7C or at the Baymont Inn. There I go again, Wayne.
Yeah,
so
there you go.
But we're going to come back here and we're going to talk a little bit more. We got some issues from last week, and I got to resolve some phone calls I got from last week. And I hope you listened last week because we're going to continue on and discuss your take on this here. So Wayne Muth is my guest here on Dakota Prairie Outdoors. Stay with us here as we continue the open lines as well. 888-932-5682, toll-free number, 888-932-5682. You can also go 888-9-DAKOTA. Same thing. It'll get you here. We'll be back after these messages. Cattle producers, the Wassum Red Angus annual production sale is Thursday, February 16th, 2 p.m. Mountain Time at the Wicks Barn, south of Richard in North Dakota. Selling 60 bulls, including Sons of Quarterback, Franchise, Enterprise, and Went Yard. Also selling will be 70 open commercial heifers plus 10 registered bred heifers. For more information along with videos, go to wassumredangus.com. And you can always bid with confidence on sale day at DV Auction. For powerful, profitable, and practical cattle, I'll see you at the Wassum Red Angus sale Thursday, February 16th, 2 p.m. Mountain Time at the Wicks Barn, south of Richard Inn.
For over 80 years, Dakota Community Bank and Trust has been your locally owned hometown bank, an honor we take great pride in. And our customer satisfaction has always been our most important goal. We've gone along with the communities we serve and will continue to do so with our pledge of modern banking convenience with old-fashioned hometown service, from remote deposit options to online mortgage applications. questions. We are happy to serve you wherever you are. Learn more at dakotacommunitybank.com. That's dakotacommunitybank.com.
Hello, producers. This is Travis for Smith Saddle Butte Ranch. I wanted to invite everyone to our President's Day Bull Sale on Monday, February 20th in Bowman. We will be selling 50 head this year. None of our bulls have been fed corn or creep, just cow's milk and grass. We don't need or want to mislead anyone about their true growth. Call me, Travis, at 605-641-5288 or check us out on Facebook. That's the Smith Saddle Butte Ranch Bull Sale, Monday, February 20th at 1 o'clock at the Bowman Auction Market, Bowman, North Dakota.
Pifer's Western team of Andy Murdoch and Jim Sabby would like to invite you to sit down and talk about the future of land planning. Whether you're looking at selling, buying, or options to hand it down to the next generation, Andy and Jim will lay out all of the options for you. It's a great time to buy or sell, and with interest rates to make it profitable. Pifer's Western team, Andy Murdoch and Jim Sabby. For more information or land updates, go to pifers.com. The DK Red Angus Top Coming to Town production sale, Saturday, March 4th, 2 p.m. at Sitting Bull Auction, Williston, North Dakota. Selling 70 purebred Red Angus bulls, 6 Angus sired bulls, 40 purebred open heifers, commercial open and bred heifers from the Tofty Ranch, 10 commercial open heifers from Kevin Gunther, and 50 F1 Hereford Red Angus commercial open heifers from the Arrow P Ranch. Bid online at DV Auction. Fresh genetics, calving ease, and good dispositions with the DK Red Angus Top Coming to Town sale, Saturday, March 4th, 2 p.m. Sitting Bull Auction. The Sorensen Ranch production sale is Monday, March 6th, 1 p.m. Central Time, Sitting Bull Auction, Williston, North Dakota. The Sorensen Ranch is your source for Simmental bulls that are bred for docility, longevity, fertility, and calves that'll push the scale down. Selling 42 Sim Angus bulls, 50 commercial heifers. If you would like more information, visit their website at sorensenranch.com or find them on Facebook. And you can bid online sale day at DV Auction. The Sorensen Ranch production sale, Monday, March 6th, 1 p.m. Central at Sitting Bull Auction, Williston, North Dakota. MoPro Guide Service, the best on Lake Oahe. Brent and his staff will give you the most enjoyable fishing experience, always having the latest in electronics, gear, and the most comfortable Lund boat on the water. Fish with somebody who lives in Mobridge, South Dakota, the heart of Lake Oahe. If you need a place to stay, the Mo Rest Motel has newly updated rooms with free internet, a family-owned and operated business. Go to OaheWalleyes.com. That's OAHE Walleyes.com for the best fishing experience Lake Oahe has to offer.
It's every American's right to bear arms. At Mandan Sporting Goods, we're here to help you support your Second Amendment rights, which reads, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Whether you're looking for a pistol for personal defense or collector gun, we have the staff to help you. We also have the area's largest inventory of ammo and reloading supplies.
Mandan Sporting Goods, the area's local gun and ammo specialists.
Western Frontier Insurance. Agents that understand you, your needs, and the community. Whether you're looking for coverage on your farm, ranch, home, or auto, you can trust that Western Frontier Insurance will find you a combination of price and coverage that works for you. No fancy jingles, no talking boxes or animals, just good neighbors helping to keep you covered. Western Frontier Insurance. Offices in Hazen, Washburn, and Wilton.
On that road, but don't you worry, one day I'll settle down. And when that time comes, I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around.
Welcome back, everybody. It is Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday edition, continuing on a beautiful Saturday morning. I mean, here at the ranch. I know I get 6 states and 2 Canadian provinces coverage here, but when I wake up to the sunshine coming up and no wind, by the way, and the chance today for like 50 degrees or close to it, it's a beautiful day. There's no doubt about it. Wayne Muth is my guest here today. Wayne, are you ready? Should we discuss some political stuff? Because
let's give it a whirl.
So,
give it a whirl.
So here's the thing: is last weekend, and I really appreciate I'm not going to get the Roth family here from the Carson Elgin area over there. Knew those good family, right? But he opened my eyes to a different way of thinking. So last weekend, I was discussing this with John about there is a bill on the North Dakota side about state land, which would prohibit the landowner. So as a landowner, that I go and I bid on that property, if I am the winner on that bid, on that auction for that state land, sometimes known as school land, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
If I win the bid on that school land, I can also go to the state and ask them to post it as no hunting, which means myself, I cannot hunt it either.
Correct.
Okay. And I did this on a portion that I have because I winter my cows in this pasture and it starts, I put them in there November 1st, and it's during the thick of hunting season. And I really, really just don't want people in there messing with my cows. Okay. That's my
Mm-hmm.
only reason. I could care less on the other side of it. If my cows weren't in there, go ahead and hunt it. I don't care, right? But since my cows are in there, so that's the thing. I got a phone call, 3 voice messages about this from the same gentleman, and I got to, he was calling my cell phone while I was on the radio, so I couldn't answer it and everything. But he had a different take on it. He says, that's the public's land, that's their land. So he doesn't think that he thinks posting it is the wrong way to look at it. What's your take on that?
I have to agree with him. I think that is, it's a public land. It is a piece that is set aside for the public, and it's made there to raise money for the schools. So, the ranchers then have an opportunity to bid out on that and get that for ranching or grazing their cattle. But it is public land. And I think, especially nowadays, there's so little public land out there. I think the more that we take away, it just sets a bad precedent. And I think we've got to be able to, as a public, as a non-landowner myself, we got to be able to try to keep that open as best we can because it's dwindling more and more. And yes, does it impact the rancher? Yeah, it might to a certain point, but that's something that I think the ranchers have to take into consideration when they are renting that, is that it should still be open for the public. But I think most hunters and most people are respectful enough that they're not going to chase cattle around and shoot a cow. And you just don't hear of that anymore, at least not very often anyway. So that would be my take on it.
All right. So agree to disagree a little bit on this because I had a cow that
Good.
was, not on state land or school land, but
Mhm.
during a coyote tournament, I did have a cow that was shot. Okay. So,
Did you?
so did they mean to do it? Probably not. I don't know. But
Mhm.
it's, I guess I'm looking at it different. I mean, when I go to the school land auction, every time that we go there, the price goes up.
Sure.
Right. But I do not see that money going to anything positive for the school because my property taxes went up because of school too.
Yeah, that's right.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, if it's truly going that way, and if that's going up, how come everything else is going up? Where's the money going? Explain where the money. And this goes with anything too. I'm just going off of myself just because I lost a cow and I don't like people messing with my cattle, and it's my livelihood. So, are people going there intently to do that? Probably not. But
no.
If you have a small enough pasture and your cows are in there, I don't see why anybody would want to hunt it. Myself, yeah.
So I'll throw a question back at you. You lease government grasslands, correct?
Absolutely.
So can you post that? That's public land as well.
No.
So I guess where would the difference be then between school land and then the national grasslands?
Now we had the option on one and not the other, but
right.
I mean, you look at, but school land is section 16 and 36 of every township across the state.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The Forest Service stuff is only in my area. It's only on the western side, right? So, I mean, this gives the people out in the Fargo area the opportunity, if they have a small pasture, if it's a section or a half section and they got cattle in there, to be able to keep people out when the cattle are in there.
Right.
I have no problem. I mean, during the, once I bring my cattle out March 15th, I could care less if somebody goes and hunts in it. It's just during November 1st through March 15th, which is set. Those dates were kind of set by the Forest Service because there's Forest Service property there too. And unfortunately, we got to stick with those dates. So
Yeah,
I mean,
that's right.
but it is an
Yeah.
area of grazing, and there's water there that we developed. That it would be nice to be able to use it correctly without people walking through and chasing cows
Right.
out of there.
Yeah, and I understand as a rancher, you want to have some control over it because it is your property that's on your lease place there.
Yeah.
So, be able to protect that and such. You know, it's an understandable thing. I think hope both sides can come to an agreement, saying, you know, well, we can. If they can't post it, then maybe you need to post it and say, you know, take care. There's cattle in here or something. I don't know.
Well, you think that would be common sense, Wayne?
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
honestly, if I'm in a coyote tournament and I go in and I see cattle in a pasture or something like that, I don't hunt it. I mean, you go somewhere
Yeah.
else, right? I mean, that's just how it is.
Right. And I've done that too. And if there's cattle in a spot where I have to get to, I will go a way around it. I'll walk a fence line instead of walking through the middle of it, you know, so you don't spook the cattle. And those cattle out there are wild. It doesn't take much to get them really going, I tell you.
Well, especially when they don't see something that they're normally used to seeing.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, but I can see
Okay.
both sides of the story. I can. It's just nice to have a
Mhm.
conversation about it, and I get it. It's just it sometimes gets expensive to run
So
cattle.
here's a question now. If let's say if the gentleman that said he doesn't agree with it, if he would come to your door and say, you know what, you mind if I go hunt over here? I know you got cattle in there. At that point, do you give permission because they took the initiative to ask for it, or do you say, you know, wait till my cattle are out of there?
You know, here's the thing: if somebody would come to me and it's not posted, right? Let's say you can't post it. If somebody were to come to me and say, I'd like to go back and hunt that state land, I give them credit for at least asking instead of just
Mhm.
going there, right? And
Sure.
I'll just say, look, I have cattle back in there. If you see cattle, just be very mindful of those, you know. And
Sure.
at least I would have somebody if I would find a cow that accidentally may have had a stray bullet or something through it. At least I would have somebody to go to, right?
Yeah. Yep. And you know who's on there. Like you said, you know who's
Exactly.
on
You know,
there.
that's all we
Yep.
really want. We got a lot of messages coming in here about this here. So Gene says maybe notify the landowner or the land lease holder. That would be great, right?
Mhm.
Somebody said exactly. My 2 quarters went up again, but so did our property taxes. Holy cow! Here we got a lot of. We'll put this into the second half if I run out of time here. It says,
Yeah.
Scott, check out the amount of school land in Cass County versus Grant County. Then check out where the money goes based on per student. That's exactly where I'm going with this and a lot of this
Yeah.
here. Another one says, hey, Scott, when your cow is shot, does the shooter pay for the cow? Well, you'd think they would, but
Yeah.
I don't know legally where that would go. You know, I mean, if it's first off, you got to get it proven, you got to get the game warden to prove it and all that kind of stuff. But,
Yeah.
you know, here's the thing: if somebody accidentally shot my cow and they came up to me and said, Scott, I made a mistake, right? I was shooting at a deer and I missed. It went over its head and it hit one of your cows. All right, I'd sit down and say, okay, how are we going to make this work? All right, this is what I feel my cow's worth. You want to trade it out in labor? Do you want to do this, or do we need to get the law involved? I really
Yeah.
don't know how I would go about that. When they walk away, like the cow that I found in my lease place here, it makes me a little bit more shy about letting people in. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But anyway,
Yeah.
we're up against this next break here, Wayne. Hold your thoughts.
Sure.
We'll come back. We'll continue this discussion because it seems like a lot of people have ideas about this. We'll be back with more Dakota Prairie Outdoors right after these messages. Thanks for coming in. Cattle producers, the Wassam Red Angus annual production sale is Thursday, February 16th, 2 p.m. Mountain Time at the Wicks Barn south of Richardson, North Dakota. Selling 60 bulls, including Sons of Quarterback, Franchise, Enterprise, and Went Yard. Also selling will be 70 open commercial heifers plus 10 registered bred heifers. For more information along with videos, go to wassamredangus.com. And you can always bid with confidence on sale day at DV Auction. For powerful, profitable, and practical cattle, I'll see you at the Wassam Red Angus sale Thursday, February 16th, 2 p.m. Mountain Time at the Wicks Barn south of Richard Inn.
For over 80 years, Dakota Community Bank and Trust has been your locally owned hometown bank, an honor we take great pride in. And our customer satisfaction has always been our most important goal. We've gone along with the communities we serve and will continue to do so with our pledge of modern banking convenience with old-fashioned hometown service. From remote deposit options to online mortgage applications, we are happy to serve you wherever you are. Learn more at dakotacommunitybank.com. That's dakotacommunitybank.com.
Hello, producers. This is Travis for Smith Saddle Butte Ranch. I wanted to invite everyone to our President's Day Bull Sale on Monday, February 20th in Bowman. We will be selling 50 head this year. None of our bulls have been fed corn or creep, just cow's milk and grass. We don't need or want to mislead anyone about their true growth. Call me, Travis, at 605-641-5288 or check us out on Facebook. That's the Smith Saddle Butte Ranch Bull Sale, Monday, February 20th at 1 o'clock at the Bowman Auction Market, Bowman, North Dakota.
Piper's Western team of Andy Murdoch and Jim Sabby would like to invite you to sit down and talk about the future of land planning. Whether you're looking at selling, buying, or options to hand it down to the next generation, Andy and Jim will lay out all of the options for you. It's a great time to buy or sell, and with interest rates to make it profitable. Piper's Western team, Andy Murdoch and Jim Sabby. For more information or land updates, go to pifers.com. The DK Red Angus Top Coming to Town production sale, Saturday, March 4th, 2 p.m. at Sitting Bull Auction, Williston, North Dakota. Selling 70 purebred Red Angus bulls, 6 Angus sired bulls, 40 purebred open heifers, commercial open and bred heifers from the Tofty Ranch, 10 commercial open heifers from Kevin Gunther, and 50 F1 Hereford Red Angus commercial open heifers from the Arrow P Ranch. Bid online at DV Auction. Fresh genetics, calving ease, and good dispositions with the DK Red Angus Top Coming to Town sale, Saturday, March 4th, 2 p.m. Sitting Bull Auction. The Sorensen Ranch production sale is Monday, March 6th, 1 p.m. Central Time, Sitting Bull Auction, Williston, North Dakota. The Sorensen Ranch is your source for Simmental bulls that are bred for docility, longevity, fertility, and calves that'll push the scale down. Selling 42 Sim Angus bulls, 50 commercial heifers. If you'd like more information, visit their website at sorensenranch.com or find them on Facebook. And you can bid online sale day at DV Auction. The Sorensen Ranch production sale, Monday, March 6th, 1 p.m. Central at Sitting Bull Auction, Williston, North Dakota. MoPro Guide Service, the best on Lake Oahe. Brent and his staff will give you the most enjoyable fishing experience, always having the latest in electronics, gear, and the most comfortable Lund boat on the water. Fish with somebody who lives in Mobridge, South Dakota, the heart of Lake Oahe. If you need a place to stay, the Mo Rest Motel has newly updated rooms with free internet, a family-owned and operated business. Go to OaheWalleyes.com. That's OAHE Walleyes.com for the best fishing experience Lake Oahe has to offer.
It's every American's right to bear arms. At Mandan Sporting Goods, we're here to help you support your Second Amendment rights, which reads, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Whether you're looking for a pistol for personal defense or collector gun, we have the staff to help you. We also have the area's largest inventory of ammo and reloading supplies.
Mandan Sporting Goods, the area's local gun and ammo specialists.
Western Frontier Insurance. Agents that understand you, your needs, and the community. Whether you're looking for coverage on your farm, ranch, home, or auto, you can trust that Western Frontier Insurance will find you a combination of price and coverage that works for you. No fancy jingles, no talking boxes or animals, just good neighbors helping to keep you covered. Western Frontier Insurance. Offices in Hazen, Washburn, and Wilton.
On that road, but don't you worry, one day I'll settle down. And when that time comes, I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around.
Welcome back, everybody. It is Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday edition. Good conversation here with Mr. Wayne Muth here. And don't forget, tonight at the Baymont Inn in Mandan, North Dakota Mule Deer Foundation banquet, make sure to join. Both of us will be there, so we can continue this school land discussion there, maybe more.
Sure.
All right.
Sure.
Are you ready for it? I have a lot of things here. This is
Okay,
a this is a
let's hear 'em.
topic that looks like here that let me get here. I gotta go. Let's see. I got people messaging in here, and I want to make sure I get to them here. Austin says, as a rancher, I think you did the right thing. I live in Fort Pierre National Grasslands and have to deal with public land usage all the time. While most of the people are genuine people, it's those few select that's going to ruin it for everyone. I can't tell you how many people have had trespassing last year because they claimed even though they thought they were on grasslands, even though they had the onyx or on their phone, the lack of respect of those hunters will ruin it for a lot of people. And while yes, hunting is a sport and generally people have the right to be there on public lands, if it's posted, or better yet, if there are cattle there, they should not be allowed to hunt it. Pass through maybe, but not hunt it. And
Mhm.
that's kind of going on what you and I were discussing during the break here is the Montana block management size. I just
Yeah.
want to know who's there, right? Somebody should be like, I don't care if you start a fire. I don't care if you do anything. Somebody should be liable if something bad were to happen and own up to it as well.
Right. And I think by having a block management, and I mentioned to you, I found an old sheet of mine, the sign-in sheet that I had when I was in the block management, and having the information that is there for that rancher is critical. And I think it also puts a little accountability on the hunter saying, you know what? He knows that I'm here. I'm not going to do anything stupid or
Yeah.
do anything illegal, or if something happens, I'm going to own up to it. I mean, all the information's there, your address, your phone numbers, the vehicle you're driving, vehicle license number, days you're hunting, and what animals. This is all information that the hunter will have. I mean, the rancher will have. So,
Yeah.
and there's some accountability.
Right. And I think accountability means you're probably going to walk the line a little bit better. I mean, I
Yeah,
would think so, right?
exactly.
Message comes through. It says, I wish the school lands would be sold. Private landowners would manage it better and would go back to tax rolls. It would only it was only created for school revenue. It wasn't created for hunting access to begin with, which is true.
Well, yeah, I think that Montana, I believe, gives out permits for school land permits, and maybe that's another way to generate money for those.
Yeah.
As well.
Text comes in, says, good morning, great topic here. Is the posting provision allowed by state land department? Right now it is, yes, because you got to go through the state land trusts department in order to you can submit request to post it, is what I'm going to say. They're not going to say yes all the time. And I agree that rancher leaseholders should have the right to post it, keep up the great content. So, I mean, that's they're kind of looking at it from my side, I guess, a little bit, but you got to remember, if it's posted, even the person that is leasing it cannot hunt it.
Right. Yeah.
So I mean, it's completely off the wall. So
yeah.
Another text comes in, says they're still out there. A few years ago, we had a gentleman running around in the neighborhood with a pickup without plates and must have had a bump stock on an AR. 3 years in a row, and only time the neighborhood involved the game and fish. Top it off, he had a young teenager with them.
Yeah.
They never caught him, to my knowledge. But that's bad. You would think that those people are not around anymore, but they're still there.
Yeah, not a way to set an example to our younger hunters starting off with. That's not called hunting, I guess. We can't call it that.
No, it's not hunting at all.
Nope.
From Minnesota's text comes in, says, on some of my antelope hunts, we'd be in a pasture with cows, and they would always come running up and check you out and get all worked up. Used to make me nervous that the rancher would get mad, so I always talk to him about that. When you tell him when you tell him you're cattle guy in the first place, they realize and understand you always got to have that communication between yourself and the rancher out there. So, yeah. Absolutely.
And you can come back to your vehicle sometimes, and the windows are all licked up by the cows.
The mirrors are folded in.
Yes.
So yeah, I can see that too. So, but here's the thing though, is we're having a conversation about it, and that's what people need to do. Just like when I spoke with the Forest Service last year at their gathering, their national gathering.
Yeah.
Communication, man. That's all it takes sometimes. And I'm not saying like yelling communication, it's just regular communication too.
Right. Yeah. It's having a conversation like we're talking about. Yeah.
Gene said South Dakota school land is public access, but it is not identified by signs. But having a good relationship with the leaseholder is always a good thing to foster. Most of the North Dakota stuff, they don't have signs on this either. It's not really marked. that I've seen. I guess ours isn't that we lease. And so anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
Good
And I think
conversation.
the problem with, not having the school lands marked, well, you could use your Onyx, your base map or whatever
Base map,
you've got, but it's not shown. It's shown open on there because it doesn't indicate any posted on any state land there.
Right.
So if it's posted by the landowner, then you've got to make sure you're adhering to that. So
Yeah.
something else to watch for.
Yeah, and I do wish that the state land trust would go out and survey and actually mark it off with signs, because not all of it is fenced. There's a good portion in the western part of the states here, North and South Dakota,
Right.
that it's open range type of situation where it's not
Right.
on section lines, and I do wish they would post it so a guy actually knew where the lines were, because I've run into that too. I know where the line
Sure.
is, but the hunter doesn't, and they dropped a deer on private land and said it was school land, and I'm like, yeah, I think
Yeah.
I could beg to differ on that.
So do you have any school land that abuts to private land that's not fenced, that's all kind of contingent? Is that what you're talking about? There's no fence lines or such?
Most of the let's see here, of the 5 different portions of school land that we lease, only one has a fence somewhat considering the borders. We kind of have to go around some creeks and some draws
Right.
once in a while,
Yeah.
but there's only one person. All the rest are open to all the other public land that's around it.
Sure. So it's difficult to post it anyway.
Absolutely.
So something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Have you been seeing any sheds out there when you're out?
That's funny you said that. So yesterday, coming up, the very little bit of mule deer that we have, very, very little. This is kind of an interesting thing. I know you were going to get a kick out of this and have some insight for me. And I feel it's still remnants of what EHD is doing in this area to mule deer, which people say doesn't affect mule deer. Yesterday, coming out of the pasture, feeding cows, for the first time in a long time, there was actually 15 mule deer on the hayfield.
Mm-hmm.
There used to be hundreds. Okay, so there's a lot less mule deer in my country. However, out of the 2 bucks that were there, young bucks, one of them was a little forky.
Yeah.
He already lost one side. He was working on his other side. The other one was still in velvet.
Yep. Okay.
Okay. He was not only in velvet, and he wasn't a big one. He was just, I guess, just kind of growing out outside of his ears type thing, and it's stalled out there, full of velvet, and looked like he had a breathing problem. All right.
Yeah.
He just looked sick. Okay. I think it's still remnants of the EHD stuff. What do you think?
Oh, yeah, I would say definitely. They've been known to actually not lose their antlers even during the year and start growing again in the fall. And they grow around that pedicle and around the base again, and it forms up. And that's where you get these cactus bucks, this look to it. And it's because, the testicles are atrophied, have been shrunk, and there's no testosterone that's going to increase and then decrease quickly for them to lose that antler. So that's what happens.
Now,
with
speaking
those.
of not having any testosterone, it did look like he was wearing skinny jeans. I might get in trouble on that one.
Okay. Yeah. So I take it you're not wearing your skinny jeans to the banquet tonight, right?
I don't own in skinny jeans. There's nothing about me that's skinny anymore, Wayne.
Oh yeah, that's something that we've heard of that before, having those velvet bucks late, and I don't think he's going to be doing any breeding at all, so we don't have to worry about that.
I don't think, not only breeding, I don't know if he's going to make it through, and if he does, it's just going to be just a sad look. I mean, as a landowner, I hate to see animals look like that.
Right.
It's just a sad thing to see. But how long does this EHD affect? Like my wife asked me, how long is it going to take the deer herd to bounce back? And we're talking mule deers, because we've seen the effects on mule deer. It's bad.
Yeah, it is bad. But if you remember when the Game and Fish Department didn't allow harvest of any does for 2 or 3 years, that population popped back pretty fast, and whitetails recover quite fast as well.
Whitetails do.
Yeah, they do. And so I had a gentleman, a friend of mine, bring his stepson's buck in to me yesterday. As a matter of fact, the muley buck, and it was a really nice buck. He's taken by with a bow up by Hazen. And so there's good deer in other parts of the state, but out west they got hammered pretty hard.
Yeah, it's crazy how you see that. My friend that lives south of Scranton got hit by EHD on his whitetail. Now the last time it was hit so hard in my area, it didn't affect any of his deer.
Yeah.
Can they get a immunity to it? Can
Yeah,
they build up something against it?
They do. The offspring carry that, will carry that antibody forward. And I believe it wears off after 2 or 3 years. And that's where it gets cyclical for us here. It's not like CWD. CWD does not transfer to the fawns from the doe. So EHD does. So that's a little bit different.
Wow.
But
all right, so let's go to that conversation I had at a bull sale. Somebody came up to me and they says, I can't believe you're not up at the Capitol fighting against this baiting, not being allowed to bait or whatever. And I says, I don't really have time to go up there and do that. I personally, I don't have time. Somebody else is probably well more versed and educated on it than I am. And he said, so let me ask you a question, Scott. He says, you got hit with EHD a couple years ago. And I'm like, yeah. I said, it decimated our deer herd, mule deer and whitetail. And he says, so what's the difference between people who think, if EHD is natural, what's CWD?
Yeah.
So why do people, when we have thousands of deer die from EHD, it's like, that's just a natural thing that's going to happen in life. What's CWD? Is that a man-made thing somebody injected a deer with?
No, we know it's not. It's natural as well. And the EHD, I don't know how you'd mitigate that. Down south, they put water tanks in. When they have dry years, they put water tanks in to keep the deer away from the mud lines of the creeks. Because the mud lines is where these midges will hatch and then they'll bite one deer and go to the other. So if they drink out of the tanks, they stay away from those mud lines. But, we've seen it too. And my wife we were talking about it. We'll watch a deer drink out of a hoof print before they go to running water.
Absolutely.
Seems like. Yeah. And so, it's something I think that maybe the Game and Fish Department can control easier is CWD, or think that they can. However, we don't see on the landscape the dead deer that you do with EHD. So that's always been the hardest sell to the public out there when they're making a big adjustments like this. So I just hope that the monies that are being put to the Game and Fish Departments are put toward a cure for this thing and figuring out something. I mean, there's such science out there that should be able to do something, whether it's some sort of a supplement that you're going to give these animals to help them. I don't know.
I believe they actually found, I think they've actually found something that beats CWD in a controlled, I think I can't remember where that article is. I know I saved it somewhere, but somebody actually came across, can't remember what it's called. You'd probably know more about this than I do.
Yeah. There's a humic acid that they can put in. A humic acid is it's like a soil type of base substance that they put in with the feed. And what it does, it slows the progression of CWD, and they can live longer. So there's less die-off, shorter time, which we're not seeing anyway. But they have the fawns that are born because those are living longer. Simple. So it's interesting. There's some contentious conversations with it in the public and at the legislature, and they've they've had the subcommittee meeting on that too, and they've changed some of the wording of the bill. They put a bunch of amendments in it. They're looking at setting a time frame, putting a setback in it, different things such as that. I mean, so we'll see where it goes because it's kind of at a fledgling stage yet. It still has to go through the voting of the House and then would go to the Senate. So a little bit down the road yet before it becomes law.
Text message says it starts out saying, I'm old. He says, and I don't remember EHD being an issue 30, 40 years ago.
I agree. We just didn't hear things like this. But EHD also happens when our herds get built up and there's large herds. It's more recognizable. So maybe in the past we had smaller herds and it did happen, but it wasn't wasn't as seen and prevalent on the landscape.
Do you feel that the social media, television, all the forms of any types of media are increasing the amount of hunting, like the more hunters because of it, trying to be superstars or the biggest bucks? Or I mean, do you see that? Is there more hunters now looking at that and talking about it than there was 30, 40 years ago?
Oh, I definitely think so. I think it's part of the conversation on any outdoor channel that you're watching or radio show that you're listening to. It's part of the culture to go out there and shoot the biggest bucks and put that on the social media, and sometimes we're victims of our own successes. We get the word out there if something's going on, and then it goes the wrong direction. And I think maybe CWD, maybe they've had it for a long time, and it's not as bad as what it is. But I guess I'm not a biologist, so I'm not going to say too much more about that. So,
well, on the bright side of things, tonight at the Bay Mountain in Mandan, everybody, I had a message. Mark Schriefer said, "Do you ever stay home, Scott?" And it's like, this is not only bull sale season, but it is banquet and charity auction type of stuff going on. And that's what I do. So tonight, Bay Mountain, Mandan, North Dakota, 5 o'clock Central Time until wee hours of the night, or as long as you'd like to stay. If you want to help me haul my sound equipment out, come in, have a little fun. We can continue on the conversation. And the mayor says of Mobridge says skinny jeans and White Claw on deer. That's how you know they don't have any testosterone.
That's right.
If my deer start drinking White Claw, I'm going to have to question where they're getting it from, is what I'm going to say.
Yes, exactly. So. Hey, we've got some great live auction items too tonight. A full shoulder mount by JB Wildlife Designs. He had one there last year. Jake is a great taxidermist, and I've done my own taxidermy work for a long time, and you really recognize what is good, and he does a great job. Stonehome Brewery we got a rooftop social again too, so right. We can get that. Yeah, my wife bought it last year, and she said once is enough. She said let somebody else have the fun. So,
well, that's not happening. I'm going to go after that. I wish you wouldn't have told me that. She's going to be bidding whether she likes it or not now. And that's the thing is that people don't realize when you go to these banquets, it's not just hunting stuff. There's other things that appease to people that don't hunt.
Yep.
So come in and try it out. Have a little fun. Yeah. If nothing else, sit down and have a beer with us.
Yeah, have some suppressors too. So
nice.
Get there. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
That made life a lot easier. Suppressing, that should almost be required anymore, that people need to have one.
Yeah, I heard in Europe it is required. Is that true?
It is, but they also make you sign out for your guns in order to go hunt too, and I don't like that idea. So.
Yeah.
You can own a suppressor in Europe, but you can't own your own, more than one gun or certain thing. They got some goofy rules over there, so I would rather not worry about that. So, but
exactly.
Well, if people want to get more information, buy tickets, how can they do that today?
Yeah, you can stop right at the banquet. We have you can buy them on site there. If you want to go to the website, you can go to the website and purchase your tickets ahead of time as well. We do have a pre-banquet raffle, and it's a Berga and what is it, a 6.5 Creedmoor as well. A couple guns there that we're giving away. So yeah,
excellent. Wayne, I appreciate you always making time. I'll see you here in a few hours. I know you got to go start setting up for the big day, so have yourself a great day.
You too. Thanks. Thanks, everyone.
You bet. Wayne Mewith here, and you find more information, DakotaPrairieOutdoors.com, and make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Dakota Prairie Outdoors Radio. Have yourself a great week and enjoy the sunshine. Eat some meat, drink some milk, and good luck ice fishing in Pollock, South Dakota as well. Thank you, guys. All right, clear from the radio side of things. Wayne, thanks again.
Already. Yeah. It's nice coming on, having some good conversations and
really good. And that's the thing, whether a person agrees or disagrees, at least to talk about it. That's all that really matters,
Well, when one of us may not agree with the other, then others that feel the same way either side have a little more comfort to chime in.
Exactly.
So it's kind of nice.
Yeah, that's a fact. I just it all depends on who is, I guess, where you live and, what you've had to go through, I'm sure
Yeah,
some people in
exactly.
Montana hate block management.
Yeah, they probably do.
I'm sure
Yeah.
some people really hate it and other people's appreciate it. It's just like, I think the plots program was a good idea, but until my neighbor put all of his in plots and I got to deal with all this traffic now. And I'm like, I'm not such a big
Right.
fan of it anymore,
Yeah.
all they'd have to do is put a parking lot in, and I think that would solve a lot of issues.
Right. But maybe all the hunters will push the deer on your side of the fence.
Yeah, if they do, they do. It's a guy can only take one, I mean,
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, it's not like Texas where you can get 6 tags, I mean,
Yeah.
it's a little bit different on that, but
I got to investigate this Texas hunt, and just get more information about it.
yeah, I pulled up
Even
their
if-
website. I'm going to read up on that while I'm feeding cows here this morning, and
Yeah.
I got to find out exactly. I know they have the address here, because if I can tie this together and go hog hunting at the same time, Wimberley, Texas.
Yeah,
So,
Wimberley.
I think that's in the hill country, but yeah, pick up and drop off available from Austin and San Antonio. So it's down in that area. I already know people down in that area. Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
That would be good.
Yeah, good. Yeah, they're I don't know what they have for exotics, but they have a lot of these ranches down there have some great exotics. I mean, my
Yeah.
goodness. And they're big ranches. And they're 60,000 acres, some of those, and they're whitetails down there. When you shoot a whitetail, it looks like the rack is huge compared to the body size.
Right, because they're
But then-
smaller deer.
because they're smaller deer.
All right,
Yeah.
so
and-
here are the exotics. They have, and I don't know the pronunciation, ADAX, ADDAX.
Okay.
They're completely white animals. It looks like Aoudad, of course. They have axis bucks, axis doe, black bucks, black buck doe.
They do have black bucks. Oh,
Yep.
nice.
BLESBOK.
Oh, the Blesbuck.
Blesbuck.
Yeah.
Bison, eland. And this is funny. People don't realize in Texas, elk is considered an exotic species.
Oh, really?
Yeah. A lot of people don't realize that if you get an exotic species, that includes elk, fallow buck, fallow deer, gemsbuck, which I think are just cool looking animals. Goat, kudu, which is also cool. Oryx. They got a lot of them here. I mean, a pure David. That's a kind of looking like a cross between a donkey and an elk. Red stags, that's pretty cool. Roan antelope, sable, Sitka, whitetails, wildebeest, and zebra. There you go.
And zebra. I've seen some really cool zebra bases made with the zebra hide and have a zebra mount on top of it.
Yeah.
Looks very nice, actually.
I seen a cross between a mule and a zebra that was at an Amish auction sale. And I thought that would have been a cool thing to show up to branding until I talked to Trent Luce at the stock show, and he says, zebra are mean. He says, don't get anything crossed or do anything with a zebra. He said they are just mean animals.
Yeah, my buddy and I were driving back from elk hunting in Montana once, and we took the road that goes down by Broadus. And we're driving down there, and I was sleeping. He was driving. And I woke up, and I looked over, and I said, Kevin, I said, there's a zebra out there. And he goes, what are you seeing? He thought I was just smoking something or something. I don't know. So we had to turn around and go back and look at this zebra. He didn't believe me that there was a zebra at this guy's ranch, but there was.
I think they're good. Like I heard, I don't know if that's true, but if you put a zebra out in your sheep herd, they will literally kill anything. Like
really?
they will kill a mountain lion. That's what I've heard. So
kind of like mules will protect stuff like that too.
Yeah. I think same way, but only more ornery. But hey man, I'm gonna go feed cows so I can get ready to come up that way.
Yep, I'm gonna head out here too. So we will see you later, and we'll see Dixie later, and Jesse and his daughter. That'll be nice.
Okay. Well, we'll see you here.
Look forward to it
in a few hours.
All right. You bet.
Thanks, Wayne.
Catch you then.
Bye.
Yep. Bye-bye.
All right, YouTube. Hey, thanks, YouTube, for hanging on with me. Jim, what about school land being posted only when cattle are on it? I would love that. I would have no issues with that at all. I just don't think that you'd get the state to go along with it. Because some people do, like on my lease place, I do a 3 times rotation. So the cattle are going to be in there 3 different odd times. And, do you put signs up? Do you take them down? Do you put them up, take them down? If we could have everything in North Dakota, like South Dakota, everything is assumed posted, I think it would work well. But with the way that North Dakota's posted laws work, I don't think it would go over. I think it'd be confusing for people. And then people would always say, well, I didn't know about this. I think a person's got to be more, it's got to be black or white. It can't be as gray. But I think it would be a good idea. I just don't know if the state would go with it. But anyway, YouTube, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me all day today. Good conversation. That's what we're here to do on this radio program. And if you have any other topics you'd like to converse about, you know where to find me. Have yourself a good one. I'm going to feed cows and hit the road to Bisman. So we'll see you then. Give me a call.